Hey guys, I got another sort of furry editorial video for you here. Just a kind of thing I've noticed in my years in the furry fandom. I just gotta, say the title. Having a fursuit is a privilege, not a right. Just because you're a furry and you join the furry fandom does not mean you can have a fursuit. Now, let me explain. Fursuits are very, very expensive. They're very, very expensive items. You're talking about $3,000 in general, on average, if you want to get a high-quality, professionally made fursuit. Just because you join the furry fandom doesn't mean you are entitled to have one of these things. Now, believe it or not, this video is as much for me as it is for you people out there, because sometimes I need to remind myself of this fact. You need money for literally anything else first before you get a fursuit, because you need money for rent, housing, car payments, gas, buying new shoes, buying food, buying shirts and clothes, parking tickets, literally anything else you need money for first before you can buy a fursuit. This is a luxury item. Nowadays there's the phrase adulting to refer to, living like an adult, rather than like a teenager or juvenile. That's something you have to do first. Real world comes first. Because it's very common, I think, for people to go to a convention or see videos, see pictures online of other people wearing fursuits like this, and be incredibly envious. Man, I wish I had that sort of thing. That'd be really, really cool. Because the thing is, a fursuit, and even going to conventions, that costs a lot of money. Having a fursuit is not required. It's not an absolute necessity for being in a part of the furry fandom. In fact, most furries don't have fursuits. Now, even at a convention like Anthrocon, let's say, maybe a third of the people there have fursuits, maybe less, but it's not 100% of the time furries have fursuits. That's just not how it works. Because let's face it, you need to have a job and lots of money in order to survive in the real world. Sucks though it may. Another thing about the expenses, it's better to be able to go to a convention not having a fursuit than to go and all through all the money and trouble and buy a fursuit and not be able to go to a convention. Because what good is it to have this costume if you can't wear it? You gotta think about how much use you're really gonna get out of your fursuit. Because if you're like me and are only able to afford to go to one convention a year, you kind of have to make do with the fact that you're spending a lot of money on something that you're not going to use very much compared to, say, your car payment or your cell phone payment, something you're using every single day. So keep that in mind. And just one last little personal note. I see a lot of people apparently search for cheap fursuits on Google. Please don't do that. You don't want a cheap fursuit. You don't want to look like some roadkill carpet thing. You really don't. You're better off just waiting and saving up money, because it's not a good look and people won't think highly of you if you're walking around like that. So just, if you can, save up the money, $3,000 of disposable income. Literally everything else in the world comes first. This comes last, okay? If you have money to blow, then maybe you can consider it. But otherwise, adulting comes first. This has been a furry editorial. Yeah.